What's happening, guys? How are y'all? So, I've been having problems with the spoons, so I made some templates on the laser. What's happening, guys? How are y'all? So this is some sapele I had. I already mapped it out with my new template, so I can get 2 out of each. It's hard to see on that. And then this big spoon. This is going to help us draw it out a little better, and we're going to try to do a little better. I'm going to go turn the laptop off. I'm echoing. So I can get 2 out of each. It's hard to see on that. And then this big spoon. This is going to help. All right, so let's just, you kind of square it up with this end where it looks even here and here. That's been part of the challenge, and I'm going to leave a little bit of extra here. That looks pretty good to me. Because you guys saw me last week, man, I wasn't drawing very good lines, and I wasn't cutting it out very well, and I wasn't happy with it. So hopefully we don't waste too much more wood before we get a usable spoon. Oh, I forgot. I made my templates today with, I didn't even mark it. Here I marked it. I made one, but then I wanted the inside diameter, so I added it to where it's just like this. And I've got them labeled with the sizes of hole as well. Or the outside diameter is what I mean. So let me line this back up. And I got to mark the inside line because I forgot to do that. And this is going to help me because we're going to bust out the Arbortech ball gouge. That's going to help give me a visual of the bowl. Yes, sir. What's up, John? Yeah, we're going to bust out the Arbortech ball gouge and see if we can make a spoon. We're going to carve out the bowl here, and then we'll take it to the lathe. So I'm going to gear up, and we're going to see what we can do. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Smash that like button for me, guys. Thanks, BK. Oh, nice, John. Whoopsie. What's up, Tim? Sounds like you've been busy. Not too bad. Hey, Elias. You know what? For just having this less than a week, I'm pretty happy with that. I went over on that edge. And I could be a little deeper right there. I'm going to go with it. I'm not trying to make it look like a Chinese factory, you know what I mean? And I love it's such a smooth finish. So let's go cut this out on the bandsaw and jump on the lathe. Hey, thanks, BK. I got 10 likes. Thank you guys for smashing that like button for me. All right, so we're going to try a new method. I watched another video, I think last night, and the guy had this bit, and he had really good success with it, so I'm going to use it. And I'm doing Oh, what was it he said to do? We're gonna do just the very top. You know, one thing I didn't mark is the center here. I need to add that to my template. For the next one I make, I'll mark a template right there. That's pretty centered. Because I'm staying in the center down here. Then I'm staying centered, but very down low on that one. We'll see. I haven't tried it yet. But I mean, I'm hoping it goes better than the last 3 or 4, or most of them I haven't really liked. But, you know, that walnut one looked pretty good. I like the rustic. It really looked hand carved. I mean, let's be real, it is, but hey, Gary, what's going on? Gary Hurst. Let me adjust this camera. I really appreciate you guys being here. I'm Steve. Welcome to the shop. Today we power carved the spoon bowl. I designed some templates for spoons. I've got a smaller spoon and then this larger spoon. I designed some of these on my laser. For those watching, send me an email if you want the templates. I'll send those to you for free. Hope you're having a good one. Please smash that like button. We're up to 14 likes. Thanks, guys. All right, let's get to turning. I can definitely tell that making that template and tracing it out and cutting it, it's running a lot smoother and a lot more square, so pretty happy about that. Hey, Rumple. Hey, Kevin. Slowly but surely. The moment of truth. Yep. You've been watching a lot of my videos if you say stuff like moment of truth. Thanks, Carrie. It's getting better. That's looking decent. Just needs to round. Thing needs sharpened again. Hey, what's up? Shoot! We're getting close. It's almost round a little bit. Almost. All right, we got 22 likes. Please hit that like button. Oh, close, close, man. Hey, Daniel, how's it going? So close. This is the best we've ever done so far. Oh, man. Almost. like a delicate little flower. Oh man, we're there except for that. All right. Heck yeah. Nice. Well, guys, we did it. We got one that's round. Let's sand it real quick. I left a little mark there just as an accent point. Let's put some water on it. This is going to pop the grain. That's a pretty piece of cherry. Right here. Right here. Yeah, maybe. That's part of the challenge. I think it'll be strong enough. We'll see. Hi, Stefan. Yes, it's an attachment from Arbortech called a ball gouge for a grinder. Hey guys, I appreciate you stopping by the channel. This is Steve. If you're new here, please say new. And if you've been in the community a while, please welcome the new members. Hey Stefan, hey Nico, hey JCV. Thanks for joining. So we just cut out this cherry spoon and then we turn the handle on the lathe. Now we're gonna do final shaping. That's cherry, and then we have a couple of coffee scoops out of sapele, which is African mahogany. We're gonna cut these out and then go turn them on the lathe as well. That Arbortech ball gouge is making short work of these, the bowls of these spoons. Glad you guys are here. Heidi, shoop, shoop. Heidi is a channel member. Thanks, Heidi. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Amsterdam. What's up, Mike D? getting better. It's still a little lopsided, but I'm okay. What's up, Kevin? You know what? I'm pretty happy with that, y'all. This is a vast improvement. This is my best one that I've turned. It is a tad thin. I think it'll be fine for a stirring spoon. And I'm leaving, I love those ridges left by the carving. I like the irregular pattern, but I'm gonna leave that. I think that's pretty good. I might touch it up just a little more here, but we're gonna oil it up. We're gonna pop the grain real quick, because I like that one. And then let's go put one of these little coffee scoops on the lathe. Because we're trying a different way to, well, not really different, I guess, but we're just kind of like a cutting board. You're popping the grain, you're putting water on here, and then the grain raises and is rough to the touch. And then you sand it down again after this in about 15 minutes. And that makes for a super smooth finish. When the customer or person using it gets it wet, it's not going to be rough to the touch. That's gonna be a nice color. So let's let that dry. Let's go get one of these scoops on the lathe. And this is African mahogany, little coffee scoop. Mike Stanifer, what are you doing today, man? All right, see if we can turn this bad boy. Johnny, thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Thanks so much. I kind of like the shape of that. What do you guys think? Let's go ahead and round this over while we're at it. Why not? Thanks, Kevin. I think we better finish that over at the sander. Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be a coffee scoop. African mahogany. Got a little bit there. Let's put some water on it. Hey, Matthew. All right. Let's, we already popped the grain on this. I'm just doing a final sand. I like leaving the tool marks. Lets people know. And this, it's not really too rough, so. And we're not trying to be perfect, but you know what? Just as in life, try to set a goal, make one thing better. And today, I feel like I got two things better. This is my best spoon handle yet. A little thin there, maybe. I'm still learning. But as far as being able to put that on the lathe, turned out well. The way I did that, I made a template on the laser for this spoon so that it helps you lay it out. And then for the scoops, I also created a template for that. So if you're interested, send me an email. Hey, see you, Rumple. You can put a screw in the end and a strap of leather with a knot. Yeah, that might be kind of fun. So let's wipe this off with some alcohol to get some of that dust out of there. So I don't want someone to buy this and they're like, oh my gosh, I got dust in my beans or whatever. All right. Grab some paper. Let's double check. All right, we're going to use some of this Nuba wax from Bumbleshoots. Yeah, true. It's still evaporating in there, so we're going to give it a second. Oh, wow. Oh, BK on a membership. Thank you, Shoop. Appreciate that, man. You guys are so awesome. I really appreciate the support. You know, being a channel member really helps me out, helps the channel out, and you get some free perks or some included perks. Hey, Jose. Let's go ahead and add some of this in there. Man, it smells so good. This Bumbleshoots, they sent me some last week, and I've been using it. Love it. Smells so good. It's my best smelling finish. It's all natural ingredients. They're a US-based small business. Might go give them a follow if you're interested in any of their products. You can find a coupon code in my channel description or the video description, and you get a discount. Check that out. Check that cherry. Love that. That is cool. Pretty fun. Hey, Heidi. Making, this is what it's all about, guys. Getting better every day or every time you try something. For me, this is really cool to, you know, I've just been making these for a week. This is probably my 5th or 6th one. Honestly, this is only 3rd one I kept. One of them I repurposed into a finial. And then I kept these other 2. Here's my first cherry spoon. That was earlier this week. It looks like some kind of deformed ice cream scoop. And then here's one which isn't horrible. It's walnut. I forgot this one turned out good. But what I learned, I used the table saw to trim it before I turned it. So what I learned is do your layout and just cut out around and don't try to shape it until after the lathe. So hopefully that'll help you guys out. But I'm liking this guy. Look at that dude. Let's see how long this thing is. I think it's like 10 or 11 inches. That is 11.5 inches long and 2.5 inch. You're right at 2.5 inches in the bowl size. I like it. All right, so let's go back to the coffee scoop. Thanks, Kevin. All right. Whoopsie. All right, let's go shape this dude. Hello, Heesum. Hello. Thanks, Kevin. Having fun, man. Let's try this again. So that's what it looks like. A little clunky. Whoopsie. Thanks, BK. Well, here, let's watch the. That was just the alcohol to remove dust. That evaporates real quick, and then we add the finish. So, here's some bumbleshoots. Food safe. All natural stuff. Smells good. Oh, man. Now the color's coming out. If you like the color before, it's really going to pop now. And I love that you have the edges. You know it was made by hand. You know what I mean? It's not a perfect sphere or anything, or half sphere, and pretty cool. Oh, yeah, baby. Butternut. I've never worked butternut. You know, I'm pretty happy for my... I think I tried to make a scoop years ago, and it turned out a lot worse than this. That turned out pretty good. What do you think? Oh, sorry, I missed your last comment. Let's see. You said hi, Shoop. What did I miss? Let's go back. Sorry, I must have missed it, Matthew. Oh, you clean up the dust with denatured alcohol, but it's not food safe. Denatured alcohol evaporates, man. It's food safe after the evaporation, so. And actually, this is not denatured, it's isopropyl. So I'm pretty happy with what we made on the live. I'm not going to make that third one tonight. Yeah, the grain's pretty cool, but this is what we made on the live today. The big lesson learned was over the last week, I wanted to get better. So I designed these two spoon templates for the big one and the scoops. So if you need some templates, let me know. I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. Ryan with 77 Rockets, he told me he had his first craft show coming up in September. And I talked to him. I sent him a message. He hasn't seen this yet. Let me show you what I made him. I made him a sign for his business, 77 Rockets. Plywood backer. This is solid ash on top, and then solid walnut that I laser cut. So if you know anybody that needs a sign, send it my way. I make these for other people. I think he's going to be very pleased. It looks really cool. And I'm going to make a, I recorded some of it, so I'm going to make a short video on how to do it as well. But yeah, Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Heidi. Billy, thank you, man. Kevin says, only if you drink it. Oh, yeah, the alcohol. Nah. So, yeah, this has to come in. I already put 2 coats of clear coat on it. Oop. But, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It turned out nice. You know what? Honestly, I was making this for me, for my own business sign. And he said something on one of his lives about having a craft show. And I told him last week, hey, I want to make you a sign. And yeah, he was like stoked about it. So I get to ship that to him this week. Pretty excited about that. I'll have to figure out what I want to do for hanging. I'll talk to him. I've got different, the sawtooth hangers I use, and I design and cut my own keyhole hangers. Now, if you guys are a member, we had a members only live this weekend where I turned this on the lathe and power cut it. It's golf ball wall art. Then in last week's live, one of the lives, I go live a lot, we made this cool thing. This is a piece of elm from my backyard with a finial on top. And we made this one last week. You know what? You guys are the best. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, liking. All right, we hit 49 likes. Oh, we just hit 50 likes. Thank you, guys. Fantastic. Thanks a lot, guys. Now, here's the thing tomorrow. If I go live tomorrow, I want to make a coffee scoop 100% on the lathe. I don't like that sanding. So I really want to try something new tomorrow, maybe, or this week. So hope you guys have a great week. If you're in the U.S., have a great Labor Day. Not sure what we're doing. Probably nothing. Now, have a great time. Catch you next time. Thanks a lot for your support. 52 likes. All right. Hey, later, Heidi. See you, BK. Yeah, BK, I need to do Dremel. See you, Kevin.